why do things end up the way they do during the narcissistic cycle? Okay, so during your situationship, what you will find is that you started off one way and you ended up another way. So it's very rare that a narcissist, energy vampire, sociopath, psychopath will date someone who doesn't have their house living in situation in order, hasn't got their bills in order, hasn't got any food in the fridge, hasn't got a career, a job, hasn't got any status, hasn't got any friends, and then changes them into the opposite of all those things. Okay. Sometimes, you know, it's not even sometimes, all of the time, because what they're looking for is supply. What brings them supply is usually external things like their car, their possession, a job, status, belonging to a friend group, having access to certain people, being able to go certain places. I remember narcissist situationship number 2. She had membership to this secret members, not secret, but members only club that I didn't know about. And she would frequent there in certain evenings. I had a 9 to 5. So I would tend to have to go to bed a certain time in the week. I had like very, very structured day, whereas she was like a, you know, small time creative. Anyway, so you date them. Even I had got into a situationship again, because this thing, we are still prone to like getting into these situations with them, and it's an addiction that we have. So it's like we smoke the narc cigarette, the narc pipe, and we empathic being, favored beings can get the fake idealization, which is basically just playing to some of our childish wounds, some of our shared wounds with them, some of our carnal wounds that we have with narcs. So they would date someone who has their own flat, or they have their living situation sorted. Even if you share a room, you've got all your bills paid, you got food in your fridge, you got a friend group, you got a hobby, you have status, you have blah, blah, blah. I remember I was doing some streetwear modeling, I was DJing, had a friend group of producers, had a friend group of streetwear people, store people that I knew, hanging out crew, good job, 4 walls to kick a cat out of, bills paid, access to certain people, all those things, boxes tick, 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 tick. Post narcissistic relationship number 2, because the number 1 was basically, they always use you as a come up in it. So number 1 got me out of the flat due to reactive abuse. So she got the flat that I paid the deposit for both of us. She got me out. My fault. It was reactive abuse, but we have to try and take responsibility, and we want to control our emotions, blah, blah, blah. You need to vet people when you meet them. Make sure you take your time, don't jump into anything. All three were relationships on steroids, very, very quick. Boom, 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 boom. Idealization, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. So, number two, when I got out of that situation, they do the smear campaign while you're still with them. Also, I had a friend who also had this pathology, so he's also sharing in the smear campaign and sabotaging, working behind my back because he's in secret competition with me. But the way we work and, you know, the gifts that we have, it's very difficult for anyone to compete with us. You know, it's like we're just touched by a higher power source. So yeah, when you're discarded after they devalue you, so they devalue you, so when you break up with them, due to the trauma bond, you will be asking them for forgiveness and wanting them back. They gaslight you, so you think that it's like all your fault, and they'll give you a list of what you have to change if your life. Their life, they've got nothing in order. Their house is messy. They have no food in the fridge. Their friend group is all people backstabbing each other, sleeping with each other. They couldn't even borrow £1,000 from someone. They have no plan B. They have no career, you know, like creative, like just go with the wind, nomad. Oh, I just travel here, do this, go and stay with my friends, ski house. No, everything's like a facade. There's no actual like solid ground. When you are discarded by them and you're made to think that it's your fault, you are the one in the wrong, they've injected you with their poison. So if they're an alcoholic, you end up being an alcoholic. If they enjoy taking illicit substances, you will now be left with the habit or addiction. If they enjoy watching pornography, you both get into it. You now enjoy watching pornography by yourself, with them, with other people, blah blah blah. Sex, if they want supply, they get sex on supply. They use sex as a weapon against you. You will now be a sex addict into sex. They will now take the sex away from you, so they use it as a way to control you. They won't validate you, so you will now, a lot of the time, you go outside to get validation. You may cheat on them. You may be a dark empath who may not always do things perfectly. You know, I've been guilty of that. Because we have to take responsibility, and I'm still on my healing path. But knowing what I go through, what I've been through with these people, I don't want to look at myself that way. So I have to try to reframe or, reframe it another way. And that's the way to sort of move forward. So yeah, when you end up, you switch places. So I know I lost my first home. The second one, I lost a job. So the job that I had where I was getting people into places and it was quite a good job. Every single role I had, it was almost as if I was going down in position until I didn't have any job. So I lost my job. Number three, I had built up a following. I built up a friend group. I built up my status. I'd worked to build up, you know, material, you know, work, spiritual and creative practice. That was all demolished. What happens is you are in this like narcissistic fog, so you can't really see. Like they literally, like if you're a blind person, I make an analogy. A blind person, usually another one of your senses is heightened, so you kind of have a good memory. So you say if you live and you're blind and you put everything in your house a certain way, so you know, like if you go to this part of the cupboard, you have your clean towels, you have your dirty towels, you have your cutlery, you have your kettle, and everything's in the exact same place because you're blind. So you move around your house and you know how to navigate. what a narcissist does, or energy vampire does, they come into your house, yeah, and they slowly start moving things around. It's not very quick. It's like a poison dripping or death by 1,000 cuts. They slowly start moving things. So now you're bumping into chairs. You've forgotten where your bed is. You don't know where the window handle is. They've left the seat of the toilet a certain way, so you don't know, you know, how you usually have the seat up or down. You push the door, that sink that is, you know, it's usually turned on a certain temperature. They turn it upside down. They might take the knob off and reverse the knob, so hot's cold, cold is hot. They will gaslight you. They'll move your cologne to the wrong side. They might put pepper in place of it. They just move everything around. That's basically what a narcissistic abusive relationship is. After they've injected you with all of the negative things, because they're hypocrites, by the way, so they'll tell you they don't watch porn while they're like addicts, while they're not with you, they're masturbating to porn all day long, they're on dating sites. You now have that addiction, drugs, alcohol, and when you're taking part in any of those addictions, they might call the police to catch you buying drugs. They might be filming you masturbating yourself. They might film you with your pants down, you know, out of your mind. They will actually film you in your lowest self version, but they will lead you down there. And it's like, obviously you have to take responsibility for what you do and your situation. But the thing about how this thing works is everybody can do whatever they're doing. It's all up to you. You have free will. But there are people that, one, they project a vibe onto you. So it's like, it's not like they say to you, you must gamble, you must take drugs, you must drink alcohol, you must ruin this, you must do it. But it's a very subtle steering you away from your ideals, your goals, your character traits, your ambition, your structure, your kind of like ways of being stoic, your disciplined ways. They just steer you away from those things to the point that you actually use these vices to cope. They become coping mechanisms. Alcohol becomes a coping mechanism to be around this dense vibration, this dense energy, this dark cloud, this, you know. They might go around saying to people, oh, you need alcohol, you need this or that to perform, to be this or that. And there might be some truth in that, because of, obviously, we have some of these childhood wounds and some of these carnal afflictions. A lot of it is just escaping being around this presence, because you're literally sitting down with one of Satan's minions. You're spending time with like a demonic entity. These people are not tapped into their hearts or their souls. They are really like the most disgusting, vile creatures that are roaming this earth. Reptiles, cretins. Stay away from them. If you want to store your career, if you want your job to leave, if you want to become homeless, if you want to become a drug addict, if you want to lose everything that you have built up yourself, you built up everything yourself with the gifts that was given to you for you. If you want to give away your gifts, if you want to be used, it's up to you to decide who you give your energy, time, attention, money to. Everything is done very, very subtle the way they work. And they've been doing this their whole lives. Lying on people, manipulating people, gaslighting people, stonewalling people, breadcrumbing people, triangulating people, lying. I said that. Stealing. Blame shifting, shame dumping, creating trauma bonds with people, hot and cold, intermittent reinforcement. 1 minute they're your best friend, they want to give you this like sensual sex, whatever. The next bit they give you the cold shoulder. They give you the silent treatment. They take 8 hours to reply to your text, act like they didn't see it, act like they were busy at work. They always want you, I hate that word, pining for them. but they are the most codependent person there is. We can heal. Stay on your healing journey. I know it's December's coming, it's cold, you know, this is the time where the volume of hoovers are going to go up. They're going to be calling around, wanting that warm skin, wanting that coconut skin to come and cuddle up with you. But just remember, when you was with them, there was no food in the fridge. Your bills didn't get paid. Your rent was late. You lost your job. You became homeless. All of these things, and they say it's your fault. Now they're gone. You build everything back over time. Your energy come back, your glow come back, your vibes come back, your walks come back, your styles come back, your grooves come back. Stella got her groove back. You can literally forfeit and destroy your future by hanging out with narcissists and toxic people, by dating a narcissist or a toxic person, by being around any energy vampire. Keep your energy for you. Good boy.